¿Qué tal, mi gente? Isela here with the Truck Boss Show, next to Nikki.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday.
She's
It's like
excited.
my trademark thing now.
I think so, but
If you like it, sing about it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Okay.
All right, let's do it. Hey, but that was always fun when we were on the bus or in
What
school.
bus? The slow bus?
No. We were on the. I went to school on the.
Oh,
I rode
yes.
the bus. Okay, maybe
Yes,
it
me
was a
too.
small.
Oh, I don't even want to
No,
think
I don't.
about those days.
Those were the good old days. What are you talking about?
But before we move any further, Isela, we need to remind everybody that they need to like, share, and comment, because without you all, we don't exist, and we want to keep going and
Yes.
going strong. And so we need your help to make sure you spread the word about the Truck Boss Show, because we want to keep providing awesome content for you all to check out.
Yes, and don't forget to invite your friends, the family, the neighbors, everybody. Invite them to like the show. Again, you make this possible for us. Now, of course, you already know the Truck Boss Show is the only one on Facebook that's bringing you all the hot stuff. We got that good juice for you, so go on ahead and invite everybody to like the show.
That's right. So, Isela, I have a pretty funny joke if you want to hear it.
Yeah, your jokes can be funny.
Okay. I don't know if this one's going to be funny, but
Okay.
we'll see, maybe. So what do you call a Chevy at the top of a hill?
Superstar. Because Chevys are cool. I'm a Chevy girl.
The answer is actually a miracle.
I don't think that was
No, she didn't think it was pretty funny.
Why?
Because Toyota would obviously be at the top of a hill.
She said Toyota. All my Chevy folks, what do you think?
Yeah, let us know what you think.
opinion.
What brand do
she's
you
hating
think
on
is
Chevy.
the
She's
strongest
hating on a
out
Chevy.
there?
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's
We want to
called
know your
Chevy
opinion.
haters.
Yes, absolutely. So moving forward, Isela, we have a lot of good stuff for them all today.
all
as
the
always.
time.
Yes.
We always do.
So I'm going to let you take it away.
U.S. Senate introduces bipartisan bill to promote women in trucking. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin and Jerry Morgan, members of the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, on November the 18th, they introduced the Promoting Women in Trucking Workforce Act. Now, currently, women make up 47% of the U.S. labor force, yet represent 24% of America's trucking workforce and only 7% of drivers. This legislation would support women in the trucking industry. Now in Wisconsin, we make things and we need to ensure we have a strong workforce to transport our goods to market, said Senator Baldwin. And removing the barriers that get in the way of women pursuing and retaining careers in trucking is the key. Now to read the full article, please visit the link in the comment thread below. Nikki, let me tell you that I think this is amazing that these senators are doing this for the simple fact that they are there to advocate, to support women who are in the trucking industry.
Yeah, it's not just, like we mentioned last week, women are doing so many things and they're coming up with so many accomplishments in their careers. And I mean, just look at our friend Ingrid Brown, the face of safety and compliance. I mean, she is just going after it. And I think that now that the Senate is noticing that there is a need for, you know, more diversity in the industry, it's a wonderful thing.
Well, and especially when, you know, shortage is a big topic, whether there is a shortage that is, you know, existing. Women can bring a lot into the industry as well. Again, I've said this before, we're not here to say women can do it better or we're here to take over. No, but that extra help is, you know, is awesome. You know, check out the women, Real Women in Trucking, She Trucking. I mean, these ladies are stepping up and they're coming through and they're also sacrificing just like the men are. So when they have that support there, I mean, I think it's amazing.
Yes. So, moving on, the 55th U.S. Capital Christmas Tree began its cross-country journey from Carson National Forest in New Mexico to Washington, D.C., behind a Kenworth W990 driven by New Mexico-based Wilbanks Trucking Service. The 60-foot blue spruce was loaded onto a special 82-foot trailer on November 6th. The tree was then fitted with a special 40-gallon water bladder to keep it hydrated during the transport. When it will arrive at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland before being delivered to the U.S. Capitol. A tree lighting ceremony will be held in early December. The tree's journey can be tracked in real time online at capitaltreetracker.com, hosted in partnership with sponsor Spirion Incorporated. Check out the schedule and visit the tree in a community near you. The tree is scheduled to be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bridgestone Arena in partnership with Truckload Carriers Association from 5 to 6 p.m. this evening. Moving on to the Chilhowee Park tomorrow night from 6 to 7 p.m. in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if they want to see if that's near them, just check out the website, and I think that would be so awesome to see. I'm pretty sad that it's not really anywhere near us in Oklahoma City, but maybe next year we can make a special easy
trip.
for me to
Yeah.
say, special trip to go see that tree, because I've just heard from others that that is a spectacle to behold. So
Well, I think it's pretty cool. I've never had the opportunity to see anything like that. Now, when you mentioned the story to me the other day, I said, oh, that's cool. I thought you were telling me about the woman who had planted her tree. It's some state up north. And planted a tree in her front yard. She would water her tree and just give it some love. And she would tell her tree, one day we're going to be at Times Square. Well, that one day finally came after so many years, and that tree's going to Times Square already. So I think something like that
That's
would be
pretty
awesome
cool
to witness. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those stories and those journeys are just awesome because they all have a backstory and it's something special behind it, and definitely need to check that out if you haven't. So moving on, Isela, I know I say moving on a lot, but we are moving on.
We always got to keep moving forward.
Yes, we have some really good segments for you all this week. We had the opportunity to test some RoadPro products, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that my favorite was the tire gauge, but there are several others that we tested, and I'm going to let you check it out for yourself. Guess what time it is? It is product review time. Our good friends over at RoadPro sent us some products to review for you all, so that's what we're going to do today. So Isela, why don't you just jump right into your first product?
I'm going to start with the power drive. It's a 175 cup power inverter. This thing is really, really neat. It's really small. You can put it in your cup holder in your car, plug in to charge your phone, all that good stuff. But what I like, it also has, if you have like your laptop, you're on the road and you have to charge it, whatever it is, it works great. I actually used it for a camping trip, plugged up the air mattress and aired up in no time. Worked great. I really liked it. And of course, the kids always want to charge their phones and blah, blah, blah. It worked amazing the whole weekend. Now this cup inverter, you can actually find it for about $35. But so you can see it for yourself, we're about to put this thing to action in a vehicle just so you can see how it really works. So cup holder fits perfectly fine. Now I'm going to plug this in. We're going to use my laptop and we're going to plug this in. There it goes, and it's charging. It's that simple. I really like the fact that it fits without a problem. And if you can see, if you feel like you need to plug something else in here, you have like your coffee maker or anything like that, while you have your laptop charging, you go for it. Works pretty good. Now on to the next product. We do have a frying pan. Now on this frying pan, Nikki, I'm going to tell you that I had two different reviews, okay? One is a good one, one's the bad one. So we're going to start with the bad one. Both are trucker wives. One, she bought it for her husband, so he can kind of stop eating at the fast food place. He can kind of make him something healthy. And he really didn't like it. He said it took too long. It's just, he wasn't even going to mess with it. The other husband, though, the other trucker, he loves it, thinks it's amazing. It's the best thing for him. And so it's one of those, but we're going to find out for ourselves. The frying pan can also be found for only about $30 online. So check this out. Don't judge me. I'm not a pro in the kitchen, so I might not know how to break this egg. So there you have it. It took about 8 to 10 minutes to just, fry a scrambled egg. Now remember, it is a 12 volt, so it's not like you're at home on a regular stove, so it does take a little bit longer. So if you like home cooking, this is cooking in a cab.
So next we have the 7-inch straight on dual foot tire gauge. I personally use this guy on my tires, and I know that there's a lot of those electric tire gauges out there, but me personally, I'm a little old school, and I like to go with something that I know is bulletproof or fail-proof, that I know that's gonna work no matter what. I personally really liked this product. Let's see it in action right now. So here we are with the 7-inch tire gauge. I'm about to test it out on my wheel right here. I know it's not a semi-tire, but a lot of tires are pretty universal when it comes to the air gauge. And the long shaft comes in handy with those double layer tires on the semi-trucks. It can get in there and check that with ease. It has 2 different outlets that you can check it with. One's curved and one's more straight. So I'm just gonna check mine with the straight one. Here we go, and mine's about at 30 PSI. That's about normal. That's where my tires need to be. You should check and see what the semi-truck tire needs and go by that average. Overall, like I said, this bad boy, it's not gonna be going out anytime soon. It's gonna be old reliable. So there's my review. And you can find this tire gauge for about 20 bucks. If you are interested in any of these products, you can always go to roadprobrands.com in the link below. Well, there you have it with the RoadPro product review. Like I said, Isela, my favorite was the tire gauge. You were cooking up an egg on that skillet there, and I know that you weren't really too happy with it.
No, I was not. But then again, it could just be different in a big rig. You know what I mean?
Right. Voltage is different in a semi.
But these are also products that are very helpful and very convenient for a lot of our folks that are on the road all the time. So,
and we will be giving those away, so make sure you comment, like, and share, and make sure you put in the comment which one of those you would like to win, and we'll be giving them away on next week's show.
Yes. Well, Nikki, of course, always having some good stuff and good information here on the Truck Boss Show. I had the opportunity to have a sit down with Jim with the Oklahoma Trucking Association. Now, he dives in a little bit deeper and discusses what the Oklahoma Trucking Association is, what they do, and how you can benefit from it. So check this out. Hola, ¿qué tal? Isela here with the Truck Boss Show. Well, today we are here with our friend Jim Newport. He is the CEO of Oklahoma Trucking Association. Jim, thank you for being with us on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, of course. This is exciting because I feel like we're going to be playing like Jeopardy or Family Feud. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to have some questions. Basically, let's talk about, the OTA. Who is OTA? What does the OTA or Oklahoma Trucking Association do?
The Oklahoma Trucking Association is the voice of trucking in Oklahoma. Basically, we are a nonprofit trade association that represents the best interest of all things trucking in Oklahoma and across the United States, arguably, because many of our members transfer intercontinental, Mexico, Canada, all 48 states.
Wow. So now, how long has the Oklahoma Trucking Association been around?
Great question. Way before you and I want to say around 1934.
That's a long time.
And originally it was called AMCO, Associated Motor Carriers of Oklahoma. And in more recent years, it was changed to the Oklahoma Trucking Association.
What are some of the things that I would say that the Oklahoma Trucking Association has done and accomplished throughout the years?
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So a member's value is up to them, basically. But I think a lot of our members would say the number one thing that they appreciate the most, find the most value in, is our advocacy, which is a fancy name of lobbying at the state capitol, not Washington, D.C., but at the Oklahoma State Capitol. It's often out of sight and out of mind while our members are working hard. They just want to be left alone and do their business, make profit, and support their families. But there's a lot of legislation out there, and this last legislative year was one of our most successful years that we've had out there. We were able to introduce and pass 3 or 4 significant pieces of legislation, and we pushed back on some that we did not think would be a friend to the industry. That's powerful in and of itself, let alone all the other benefits that members receive.
How do state regulations and federal regulations differ? Like, who decides when it comes to state?
Yeah, great. Another great question. So at the Oklahoma Trucking Association, we have a board, and what we approved a few years ago was generic, what we call state policy. So let's just say taxation, for example. Specifically, let's talk about fuel taxes. In the trucking industry, no surprise, we pay 45% of all road taxes that are paid in Oklahoma, but trucking only represents 14% of the lane miles that are actually used. So when someone pounds the table and says, trucks ought to pay their fair share, we do. We more than do. However, the caveat is, if you're going to tax us, we'd like to see those dollars, and we want to see those dollars go to roads and bridges and the infrastructure that's related to trucking, not something else. So there's an example.
Let's say that someone is interested in becoming a member or getting involved with the Oklahoma Trucking Association. What are the requirements for them to become members?
We have two types of members. One is carriers. We call those the truckers, we call carriers, so trucking companies. The other would be allied members, and those are going to be any sort of company that would provide products or services to the trucking carriers. So those are our members. Welcome anyone. We can be reached easily enough. A quick Google of Oklahoma Trucking Association or oktrucking.org will find our website. Membership is available there, or you could just call us, reach out to us. We'll be happy to respond.
Now, what are some of the benefits?
So I'm biased, and you would expect that. We don't have time to list all of the wonderful benefits as to being a member of the Oklahoma Trucking Association. I've already mentioned advocacy, so being a watchdog and the voice of trucking in Oklahoma is important. We have 2 or 3 events per year. Those are going to offer both educational opportunities as well as being able to meet with your peers, share ideas, become acquainted with other allied members, products and services that they offer, those sorts of things. We also do a weekly newsletter, and it's all things from federal to state, what's going on, regulations, what events that we are doing at the Oklahoma Trucking Association. So all of those are benefits and ways to stay connected.
Now, Jim, one more time, where can they find you?
Sure, oktrucking.org. Call, email, you can't miss us.
We'll share the link so you can also just go check them out for yourself. Now, this is it here for the Truck Boss Show. A big thanks to Jim. Now, Nikki, the Oklahoma Trucking Association is amazing.
Yes,
I think.
doing big things.
Yeah, they advocate for the truckers here in the state.
Yes.
And a lot of states have their own trucking association, which I would suggest you check them out. There's a lot of events.
There's so many benefits of being a part of your local association. Yes, I would agree that it's very beneficial to be a part of that.
And even getting involved with sponsorship and getting to know what all is going on in your state. And I mean, I think it's pretty cool. And it's awesome. I love it. So a big thanks to everyone here at the Oklahoma Trucking Association.
Yes. So we all know Thanksgiving is coming up next week, and families are going to be traveling. The highways are going to be super congested. So just make sure that you are hyper aware of your surroundings out there, and you're being very careful because, drivers can get crazy out there, and they're going to be in rushes to get places. So just definitely make sure
be careful,
the
pay
safety
attention.
notch is like up to 10. So,
or like they say too, click it or ticket.
Yes.
But it's very important. Be careful because there's going to be a lot of our truckers out there that they're still going to be working. So we have to also be aware that while we're going on a vacation, maybe hanging out with friends and family, they're going to be on the road making sure we get our food and our clothes and all that stuff.
Be courteous, let others over, use your blinker.
Be polite.
All things that are very helpful to the fellow drivers out there.
Yes.
And next week, you make sure you want to stay tuned because we have friends and fellow truckers telling us all what they're thankful for.
Which we are thankful for a lot of things, and it's going to be great to hear their stories, especially for them who are on the road all the time.
Yes. So, as always, it was fun, Isela.
We always make it fun.
Yes. Always.
Because girls do it best. No.
But don't forget why we do this.
Because you're the boss.